welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video, and as you can quite clearly see here, it's another early Mastertronic game. This is Spacewalk. Now, this particular title had two different versions released. This one that I'm going to be playing first of all, because I'm going to cover both versions. This is the version that I have never played before. I haven't even had like a warm-up go or anything. I just downloaded the tape image, saw which version it was, saw that it's not the version that I used to have. I didn't even play it. I just reset the whole thing. So this is going to be a sort of first impressions thing. When I do the second version, that one I did play before. I had it back in the day, so we'll see how the two versions differ. So this is another fucking Dave and Dick Darling games creator title, which is probably going to tell an awful lot of you that this is going to be a staggering load of shite. Well, let's go through the description then. So, use your powerful jet thrusters to help you direct the stray satellites into the space shuttle. Well, that sounds a lot like the version I had. You must be very careful to steer them accurately through the cargo doors on the top of the shuttle. Don't let the satellites crash land. Avoid the enemy spacemen and asteroids. To control the jetman, use the keys ZCF. Well, fuck it. So it's the same keys as Magic Carpet, which are fucking hopeless on an emulator. F1 and F3 for up and down. Yeah, okay. So I use the joystick. Shift is fine. Okay, so well, the control method is completely different to the version that I know. Press the key to load game. Now, unfortunately, it is a tape image, so I'm going to have to warp it, and it does take a pretty ridiculously long time to load. I don't think it uses a fast loader system. So anyway, as with all fucking games creator titles, as soon as the game loads, your first game starts straight away. So, well, here we are. So, well, I can tell you straight away, the background looks completely different. The version I played doesn't look anything like this. So let's get a game underway and see what it's all about. There's no audio. Right, so I can't actually take hold of the satellite. So, right, well, let's bring the satellite down. And I don't know what I hit. Oh, fucking hell. So you lose a life if you hit the planet's surface. Well, that's a fucking load of bollocks. There's no audio. Okay, there is some, but barely any audio when it comes to this is fucking ridiculous. So I can't, if I touch the planet. So right, what happened there? Did it go in the no, right, so according to that, it didn't go into the shuttle. Fucking, what is this? This is fucking bollocks. My shots are going straight through the fucking thing I'm firing at. Right, so now, no, that's not in the right place. Now, is it in the right place? Well, it's not now. Right, okay, what about now? It's hit. Well, I had it there on the fucking oh, what a fucking load of shit this is. I fucking see now why they didn't bother releasing this. Or, changed it. Hey look, my shots are going straight through, not doing a fucking thing. Right, so now, okay, it's going down. Oh, okay, it finally actually landed on the shuttle. So here we go, level 2. Okay, well, I've got to fucking catch that before it hits the ground. There you go. And because it's hit the ground, it's instantly game over, even though I've got 4 lives left. What a fucking load of shit this is. I'll tell you what, alright, well, the idea of this video was to show that not every games creator title was a fucking load of shite, but I haven't exactly got off to a roaring start there, because this absolutely is a fucking load of shite. Graphics are staggeringly basic, but I mean, you know, they're okay. I actually managed to shoot one of those cunts, but my shots go straight through the like boulder things that are around, and now I'm fucking losing lives everywhere. So I've got to try and manoeuvre this fucking thing. Oh, now I hit the fucking planet's surface. That's ridiculous, losing a life because you hit the planet's surface. What the fucking hell is that all about? Right, well, this version is a fucking load of shit. I am glad I did not have this one. So, yeah, that's quite enough of that. Let's go on to version 2, which came along a bit later. Right, okay, so we're on to the second version. Now this is the version I had, and this is the version I played quite a lot back in the day. This came out in about 1984. I'll get the exact date in a moment, or I'll find out before I upload the fucking thing. Now I've read a few times actually people say that the different versions are dependent on whether you got the cassette version or the disc version. Well, I can tell you that's absolute bollocks, because those people always say that this is the disc version. Well, I didn't have a disc drive back in the day. I only had a cassette drive. I bought the cassette version, and this is the version I got. So yeah, I personally, having just played that first version, I did sort of slip up there by saying, I was meant to say it's no wonder they changed it, but I actually said no wonder they didn't release it, because that's what I'm thinking. I'd never seen that version before, and I don't think it was released. I think it may have been, or if it did get released, it was not intentional. It was always meant to be this version, because that first version looks unfinished. It's just an unplayable load of shite, and yeah, I can't believe that was, you know, even by games creator standards, it looks unfinished. There's still a lot more to do. So this is the finished version. I think this is the only version that was supposed to be released. So battle your way across the lunar surface, then use your powerful jetpack to thrust you up to the rotating satellite. Rendezvous with the satellite before it crashes into the lunar moonscape. Then carry it back to your launch pad where your space shuttle is docked. 16 levels of ice cold low pressure death awaits you. That sounds enticing, doesn't it? So to control a Jetman, yeah, these are controls that I'm more familiar with. So Commodore key is to fire and hold the satellite. Shift is to fire, thrust and hold the satellite. It does all three, does all of those. And then left and right. So with this version, when you pick up the satellite, well, you do actually pick it up. You're not just like nudging it into place. You do actually pick it up and hold it. So it makes it a lot easier to actually get through levels. Also, amazingly, your shots actually do destroy the things that you're shooting at. So let's load the game anyway. Doesn't take long to load on there. Here we are. So I've grabbed the shuttle using the thruster, and what I'll do is just take it down here, drop it off the pad, and there we go, level 1 done. And I do this all the time pretty much. The game is not what I would call difficult, although I am about to make a big old fuck up. Now, you can see the satellite is in danger of hitting the rock there. If it does hit the lunar surface, it's instant game over. If you have the satellite and you're continuing to thrust on the jetpack, it will, you do still go up, but very, very slowly. This level is a bit of a cunt because of all these other jetpack lot flying around. Oh, now I've got myself into some real grief because I've got to try and get the jetpack up from here, which is going to take some doing. I was rather lucky there. There we go, right, so that. Oh, you fucking cunt. Level 3, not doing too good there, right. Okay, another go. So level 1 is really not all that difficult. Like I say, nearly ploughing into those, there we go, so level 2. The music stays the same all the way through. It's just that there are some different sounds used for the main melody, and I use the word melody advisedly. So level 3 it goes back to normal, but from level 4 onwards the music just goes fucking mental, and well, it sounds like a load of white noise because that's precisely what it is. Here we go. And now the music stays like this for the rest of the game. And there we go, on level 5. So getting through the levels is not that difficult, at least not if you play it this way. Of course, you can just drop the satellite when it's, you know, in line with the pad, and then keep flying around trying to score more points. I clearly don't do that. I just try and get through the levels as quickly as I can. There we go, so we're already up to level 7. If I get through here, I will then be halfway through the fucking game. This level is a bit of a cunt because those missiles can launch anywhere, including underneath the landing pad. So here we are then, level 8. I'm halfway through the game. But at least there is, you know, still some variation on the, you know, the levels. It's not the same thing over and over again. So it does have that in its favour. There was, you know, one of those missiles came up and fucking hit me just as I was about to go on to the next level. That fucker's gonna hit me. And I think I'm on my last life, as I think I was meant to say earlier, but for something I got distracted so I couldn't say it. The game ends straight away if the satellite hits the surface of the planet. So yeah, as you can see, level 9, things get pretty fucking chaotic. So right, one more go, and we'll get the review underway while we are doing it. For a games creator game, I think it is pretty good. It's easily the best games creator title I've ever played. Now I know that is not saying much at all, but you know, I did actually used to play this a fair bit back in the day when I got this. I mean, so I'm pretty sure this was 1984, and at that time, being able to buy a brand new game for $1.99 was still something of a novelty. So a lot of us were, you know, able to sort of forgive Mastertronic for the fact that the games were extremely basic and, for the most part, absolute shite. Because, you know, it was a new game for $1.99. We were okay with that. However, with the likes of, you know, Magic Carpet and all that, they were rather taking the piss somewhat with how shit the games were. But with this, I think it's certainly playable. Alright, it does get a bit repetitive, especially if you play it my way and you're just racing through the levels. But I mean, it's, you know, I've played far worse. I mean, you compare this to that shitty first version that I played, which looks and plays like it's completely unfinished. I don't think this is too bad, actually. So, I mean, it's almost a fucking miracle that, you know, almost, well, not only just a miracle, I just cannot believe I am about to say this, but it does appear as though they could actually make half-decent games on the Games Creator software using that program. I mean, okay, it's possible to do that, but as you have seen from a large number of the Mastertronic games from that era, including the few that I've reviewed already, although it's possible, it very rarely fucking happens. So here I am on level 9 again. This level is a fucking cunt and a half. But I mean, I'm over halfway through the game, so, you know. Right, I've never got the level 10 before, so this is now the furthest I've ever got. Fucking, okay. Oh. Yeah, I do not rate my chances with this one. There we go. Level 10. Graphically, it's, you know, very basic, but, you know, what did you expect for $1.99? But, I mean, that always applied to Mastertronic games from this era. Audio-wise, the sound effects are extremely basic. The music is horrific, especially when you get to level 4 onwards. But the gameplay is where it's at, and I think the gameplay for a $1.99 game, I think the gameplay is fucking great. I mean, the obvious comparisons, you know, when you see the game in action rather than when you're playing it, you're tempted to compare it to a Jetpack for the Spectrum. It's nowhere near as good as Jetpack. Jetpack's a fucking classic game. It's a great game. And while I don't mind this, it doesn't compare to Jetpack at all. So I would give this 6.5 out of 10. I'd actually, you know, recommend giving it a try, but make sure it's this version you get. Don't go near that other shitty version, because that really is just a load of bollocks. And like I say, I'm convinced that that first version was not released intentionally because it just looks so unfinished. And plays so unfinished as well. This is vastly superior. Like I say, all these people are saying this was only available on disc. I know that's a load of shit, because I had this version on my cassette. So there you go, that is Spacewalk, or specifically Spacewalk version 2 for Commodore 64. 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, give it a stab. That brings this review to an end, and we'll see you at the next one.